Hari Om. We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, Sloka 17 and 18.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे साङ्ख्ययोगो नाम द्वितीयोऽध्यायः।
Bhagawan Sri Krishna, after defining what is Sat, that is real, and what is Asat, that is unreal, and the nature of real, further provides additional characteristic features of the real, the Atma or self or consciousness. He also indicates the characteristics features of Asat, unreal, or otherwise called Anatma, the experiences, objects, and body mind complex. Sloka 17. Avinasitu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasamavyyasyasya na kaschit kartumarhati. Summary Sloka 17. That Atman is indestructible and all is pervaded by Atman. None can destroy that Atman which is imperishable.
Sloka 18 अन्तवन्त इमे देहः नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनासिनो अप्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत.
Summary Sloka 18. The body of embodied self, that is Atman, has a beginning and an end. The self, that is Atman, is eternal, indestructible, and incomprehensible. Therefore, O Bharata, fight. Two words in the first stanza of Sloka 17 is important. Avinasi, indestructible. Avyayam, not weakened or modified. Cannot be any loss. There cannot be any loss to Atma. Atma is indestructible and it is not weakened. It pervades entire world. No one can destroy it. Anatma, example body of a being, get modified, destroyed, but the Atma, which identifies with the body, exists unchanged, without any loss, and is not destroyed. The self, pure consciousness, never goes out of existence, and appearances or experiences which are non self, that are names, forms, objects, never come into existence. These appearances borrow the existence from the conscious self, and we are aware of them. Let us look at the Sloka 17, three words. Sarva idam tatam. Sarva means the body, idam means this, tatam means that. That denotes Brahman or pure consciousness or pure self, which is not available to senses and it is not an object. It pervades the entire body. This, it is immediately available. The world is available to all of us and is pervaded by that through and through. And this body borrows existence from that, or the experiences borrows existence from that Brahman or the pure consciousness. Material world is invaded by the self. Let us take an example, and you are visiting a lake. Around it there were number of trees, big and small, hills, birds are flying, and you are very happy to be at the lake in the morning. The lake is very calm. The water is crystal clear. And when you see in the lake, you see the images or the appearances of trees, hills, birds, etc. All these are only appearances, not that the lake has them. Water alone exists in the lake. All others are appearances. Water pervades the lake through and through. This is an example. The self pervades everything in the world. This pervasiveness of the self is equal in everything. We, the beings, only see differences due to Maya or illusion. Swami Chinmayananda aptly describes the real in us, that is, the pure consciousness or the self in us. The real envelops and pervades everything that exists. A Vedanta example: clay pot, gold necklace, etc. Clay is real and it envelops and pervades pot, big, small, round, long, and short. They have different sizes and names, forms, and colors. But without clay, the pot does not exist. You cannot have the clay and pot, but you can have clay without pots. Pots live in clay and die in clay. The reality is the clay that is holding pots together. This is what we mean by pervasiveness of Brahman or the pure consciousness. Atman, self, consciousness, or Paramatma, we indicated that it is all pervasive in the entire world. It is indestructible, does not get modified, and there is only one consciousness. How do we understand it? When we see different objects around us, both living and non living, how can we accept that consciousness or Atman pervades entire world? Sri Kuppa Viswanath Sarma's view on this is very clear. He gives a very good example of both Vedantic as well as scientific perspective. Let us look at the scientific perspective. The matter in this world produces energy from subatomic particles, that is, electrons, protons, etc., which is essential part of all living beings. Where did these atomic particles get energy? Explanation is that energy which gives energy to the subatomic particles of the matter is considered as the Atma, consciousness, or the self which pervades everything, and a fascinating explanation was provided by Sri Viswanatha Sarma. What is Vedantic perspective? The entire world has five elements: Panchabhutas, space, fire, air, water, and earth. If one look at these gradually, it becomes subtler from one another. Air is subtler than fire. Space is subtler than air. Space is indestructible. And the beginning and end is not visualized. This entire consciousness or the self or Atma pervades the entire space. The space is in the consciousness. And this is what the Vedantic explanation of pervasiveness of the self or the Atma or consciousness. Bhagavan now explains the characteristic feature of the unreal entities. The physical forms that embodies the self are perishable. They have a beginning and an end. The self is indestructible, that is anasinaha. The word aprameyasya need to be understood clearly in this sloka. Self is not an object to be known by our senses. Prameya means knowledge. Aprameya means beyond the knowledge, or it is incomprehensible. Why? Let us look at the example of the knower and the known. Knower is the subject, known is the object. I is the knower, known is the flower or body parts if I am seeing my hand. Seer and the seen, experiencer and experiences. And it is important for us to distinguish the subject from the object. The pure consciousness is the knower, seer, and experiencer. All others, that is the flower, body parts, etc., are the seen. They are the objects. Finally, nothing can destroy the self or the pure consciousness. All the bodies will die. None of this can be avoided. You, the self, will not die and does not depend upon what you do in this life. While the self identifies with the body, there is no direct relationship between the body and the self. Hence, live in this world, do what you need to do with respect and harmony.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः